ability again from eVeRy, keeping targets up. As Ragnaros landing a 4-man Sulfurous Smash, Durin's of Hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak, make it a quad kill set up by that eVeRy.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nubrak, core at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be Respect the Gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just blowing up everybody here. That's a 4, making 5
And it
for
does
nothing.
not fall up. What a play. Oh my God, somebody please clip that. Hello, welcome. Thanks so much for joining. I'm Taco. I'm back behind the wheel again, bringing you a replay of sOaK Every Lane and Feigned Competence. We got a stacked matchup for you tonight. We'll find out who wins. I don't know, but I heard it was really exciting. So we're just gonna jump right into it. Braxis Holdout, Cursed Hollow, Dragonshire, and Infernal Shrines have been banned. Feigned Competence picked Tomb of the Spider Queen to start. So we're just going to, we're just gonna jump right into it. I'm all settled in the new place, sort of. We're still getting things worked out. But yeah, here we go. Alright, so coming in here to Tomb of the Spider Queen on sOaK Every Lane, we have Philip K on Blaze, Wipeout on Sylvanas, Strogs on Stukov, DMN 13 on Raynor, BMed on Thrall, and Hyperbole on Diablo, Chef Steve on Jaina, Totem Colt and Captain Squiddy bringing in the Cho'Gall. What? And Beaver Hunter on Oriole. That will be Feigned Competence. Let's see what I can bring in. Here's some talents for you. We can take a look at talents real quick. Level 1's New Habits, Overwhelming Affliction, Fetid Touch, Rolling Thunder, and who knows, Jimmy the Large Minion Raynor still can't make a decision. We've got same thing from Diablo, Fingers of Frost, Calloused Hide, Searing Light. Still waiting on level 1s from 3 heroes. sOaK Every Lane and Feigned Competence are both Division B-West, which makes sense because the same divisions play against each other. We get Taskmaster from Gaul. Ace in the Hole coming out of Raynor. And Devil's Due out of Diablo. Pretty standard stuff coming out of level 1s. We have Thrall and Diablo in the off lane. Cho'Gall going to be the bulk. So off lane Diablo, this will be interesting. Oriole, a very powerful battery with Cho'Gall, or rather Cho'Gall, a very powerful battery for Oriole. And Gaul is a huge source of damage, so that hat is going to do wonderful things for Team Feigned Competence. Down here in the middle lane, we saw the 4-man from sOaK Every Lane. Raynor going to go ahead and head up. Jimmy the Large Minion Raynor coming to bring the pain on these minions in the top lane. Diablo getting a flip and a slam onto Thrall. Not going to stun him against the wall though, and Dima taking a lot of Diablo's health back and healing all the way up, thanks to Thrall's trait. Damage coming out from the Cho'Gall with that bomb, putting some wear on DMN 13 on the Raynor. It's okay though, it's a Raynor. He respawns like every 30 seconds with the rest of the minion waves. Cho'Gall taking some damage from Philip K on the Blaze. It's nice to see Philip K not mounted. He likes to play a mounted tank all the time, and it's just not as fun to watch as when he gets down and dirty into the nitty-gritty of the fights, even if they are just little skirmishes about seeing who has the bigger Q key. Both teams still looking to just kind of get their turn in. sOaK Every Lane at 25 gems to 24 now on Feigned Competence. Still not about halfway there for both teams. Both teams looking for those opportunities to take the gems to the bank. Going back to not even the gold standard, but the gem standard to really lock in their buying power with this map objective. We do see Sylvanas come down into the bottom lane to help out with Thrall, but in the Feigned Competence responding in kind. 3 versus 2 down in the bottom lane. Both teams just kind of hanging out by their gates, not really ready to do much of anything. And we do see a 3-gem turn-in from Jaina is her name. Blaze getting out in a blaze of glory away from Cho'Gall just in time we get to see it, avoiding a pretty heavy punch from the Cho. Raynor also still trying to put out some damage as Cho's making a rotation down. It's going to stop Thrall from turning in those 9 gems. 9 also the number of gems sOaK needs in addition to what they have to get a turn in. Now just 8. Those 9 gems do get turned in by D-Med on Thrall. Cho'Gall running away with those 22 gems. Gonna go ahead and take a sippy sip from the fountain. That's a lot of health on a Cho'Gall. You don't see a whole lot of them. I'm still showing you my picture. Sorry about that. You don't see a whole lot of Cho'Galls, especially in competitive play. So this is probably a really interesting position for both teams. Cho'Gall's like taking a hero out of your presence, but always having your mage present for a team fight. So you get less map pressure, more team fight pressure, and he's just tough as balls to take down. Cho'Gall going to get those 24 gems turned in. sOaK up to 48. Feigned Competence at 27, but Wipeout going to finish up the turn in time. First set of web weavers to blue team sOaK. Let's see what they do with it. It looks like we have a 1-3-1 right now. sOaK going to try to push mid lane. True to their name, though, they are in every lane, but as I say that, the 4-man groups back up in the top lane and taking advantage of Sylvanas' trait up in the top lane. They're probably going to get this fort with this web weaver. There is a 4-man rotation from Feigned Competence as Thrall and Diablo also are just trading blows in the bot lane. Looks like this top web weaver very healthy, not taking any damage from the fort yet. And looks like it's going to take out this fountain, no big deal. Looks like they're not going to get this fort. Web weaver's going down real fast. It is the first set of web weavers. You don't really expect a whole lot out of it, but you do get map pressure, map control in general. As we can see the gems on both teams right now. Feigned Competence definitely looking for an opportunity to get a turn in right after this objective goes down. It will be good for them map pressure. We see a big gank coming from the fort side out of sOaK onto Hyperbole. Hyperbole going hyper speed back to the Hall of Storms, taking the quick way through death. Diablo goes down as first blood of the match and loses 24 gems in the process. First fort goes down to sOaK after the objective subsides using the strength of not Sylvanas, who was in the middle lane. What am I talking about? They get that fort down. That's going to be really big for sOaK. Almost every game that I've seen here in NGS, the first fort to go down decides the game. At least that's how it's trended. Cho'Gall with 17 gems trying to get out, going to get follow-up jet propulsion by philipK. Cho'Gall turning around, or Oriole turning around, I believe it was, and stunning philipK, saying, "Okay, now what?" And both teams just kind of waiting for their next set of gems. Feigned Competence has plenty of gems to turn in, looking for an opportunity. They are down heroic talent tiers. What kind of talent? What kind of tiers? Talent tiers. The best, saltiest of tiers. And it looks like we are getting more turn-ins from sOaK. They're at 38. Looking for that double turn-in. They're only 7 shy of it. Let's look at these heroics for sOaK before anything too exciting happens. Combustion, Wailing Arrow, Massive Shove, Rainer's Raiders, and Earthquake. And I'll leave this up so we can see Feigned Competence's level 10s unless this devolves too much further. Here goes the Combustion onto the Cho'Gall. We are getting a team fight. Cho'Gall going down 23 gems in the dust, except Jaina coming in to pick them up. She's a frosty little girl, and she's going to get away with the help of Diablo and Oriole with the CC. Diablo going to die for it, however. Big counterplay out of sOaK with Cho'Gall trying to get a little feisty there going into that turn-in. sOaK holding them off, and then following up, baiting Diablo and Oriole into kind of continuing that engage, and Diablo going down for it. So sOaK no, Feigned Competence does get the turn in thanks to Jaina. Let's look at those level 10s for Feigned Competence. Apocalypse, Ring of Frost, Hammer of Twilight, Twisting Nether, and Crystal Aegis. Looks like Oriole going for those saves instead of those redemptions. But Philip K getting hit by that tower. Jet Propulsion's out of the Blizzard, going to stay alive, and a huge, massive shove coming out of Strokes on sOaK. That Twisting Nether not going to hit anybody. And that's like a 2-man ultimate from sOaK there onto that Cho'Gall. Huge play. There goes the swipe onto Strokes. sOaK looks like he's not going to make it out, but he massive shoves the two-headed giant once again. Diablo trying to make something work there too. It's not going to happen. Philip K going to go down. No health left. Jaina cooling Blaze's jets. There's the pun I was looking for. And Feigned Competence getting a kill on the board as their objective is still pushing. They aren't getting any forts out of it, although this is a big wave top. The clear out of sOaK every lane is pretty strong. Feigned Competence is going to have to back out. And Feigned Competence really only hanging on to this last fort by... That's not the button I wanted. I forgot. There we go. That's the button I need. Feigned Competence hanging on to that last fort by a thread. Both teams making a good move and getting their own bruiser cams. Neither team really, right now, neither team trying to cross over the center line except maybe for pathing. Blaze just kind of scouting out, not trying to get too aggressive. sOaK every lane does get the turn in. Bruiser Camp's marching mid. The Bruiser Camp can stay alive long enough for the Webweaver to get there. sOaK every lane going to be in a good position, but looks like Blaze getting kind of caught out. Never mind, walking back out. There goes the Earthquake from Thrall, going to slow down the Cho'Gall. Crystal Aegis onto the Cho'Gall. There goes the Ring of Frost. Cho'Gall going down. Combustion to help follow up. Oriole slowed to high heaven and then blasted there by the Rainer. Say hello to Imperius for me because you gone. Diablo charging in onto Philip K and then flipping him over, trying to use that as an escape, but going to get caught by Rainer. Rainer just melting people. Jimmy the large minion needs a nerf. Did Sylvanas take Mercenary Queen? No. How is Jimmy the large minion Rainer doing so well? I don't understand it. As sOaK every lane makes a push in the top lane. I believe Trait is on cooldown now for Sylvanas. They used it for the front wall. They might get this keep, but it looks like they're going to back off. That middle fort does finally go down for sOaK every lane into Feigned Competence. The Webweavers are dissipating. They might get, yeah, they'll get this front wall as well. Feigned Competence looking for any opportunity they can to get a pick and get back into the game, but they are 3 talents down. Not 3 talents, 3 levels, 1 talent. So it's going to be rough going for them. But, I mean, this is Heroes of the Comeback, so... Especially with this current anomaly with a call for help from structures. Anything really could happen. Like the boss throw. Here we are in the throw pit for sOaK every lane. Boss going for the stun, misses everyone who is playing the boss character. They need to go back and practice against AI. These players too good for it. Got the boss to less than half. Boss uses the tornado skill. Lornado, he must have learned it from Decker, doesn't hit anybody. He also misses the AoE stun again. So Boss, admitting defeat, goes over to sOaK every lane and says, all right, I'll push for you guys. But frankly, as bad as that boss is, I wouldn't want him on my team. Philip K trying to get an engage to make for a pick, not quite going to work. So 5-man push with the boss going into the top fort. Keep, I should say. Blizzards on the boss, lots of really just hyper focus on the keep. Diablo charging in onto Wipeout. Massive shove onto Cho'Gall, pushing him out, but he's gonna dash back in. Diablo gonna go down though. And that's the front wall. There goes Jaina. We get a double stasis out of Oriole and Cho'Gall. That's 4. Is it going to be 5? Yes, it is. That is a wipe to wipe out and... wipe out, finishing the wipe, that is. And sOaK every lane taking game number 1. GG, sOaK every lane, Feigned Competence. I'm really interested to see how you're going to come back into this match. It was a fun draft. I think it was just better play on sOaK every lane with the macro. Again, taking Cho'Gall into a 3-lane map is really hard to do. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how Feigned Competence adjusts. Overall, really good game. sOaK every lane, true to their nature, just getting that XP advantage early on, and then just pressing it. You'll notice they never took a straight up 5v5, and that really plays to their strengths. And I'm interested to see how they come back for game 2 as well, knowing that that sOaK every lane, or rather knowing that Feigned Competence is out for blood. Looks like game 2 is going to be Towers of Doom, and since Feigned Competence lost, I imagine they are taking first pick, so that would suggest that sOaK every lane picked the map of Towers of Doom. Let me check the chat real quick. Nothing going on here, but it's also super secret chat, so that might be the reason I'm trying to do some backwards ass semi-streaming while I do my replay. All right, so we are getting ready to go into Towers of Doom for game 2 of sOaK every lane versus Feigned Competence. If I can get back to my software. Everything looks right here so far. And now I'm just loading up the replay. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Well, not even that long. There is the lobby. All right. Let's see. I'm going to give it just a second. All right, here we go into game number 2, Towers of Doom, sOaK every lane versus Feigned Competence. I hope that was long enough for y'all to go to the bathroom or whatever, but hey, you can just press the pause button. All right, here we go. Philip K on Joanna, Wipeout on Sylvanas, Strogs on Rhaegar, Demon 13 on Raynor, and B-Med on Murky. B-Med on Murky? What is going on? We have Hyperbole on ETC, Toten Colt on Hanzo, Chef Steve on Jaina, Captain I Can't See It, what is it, Captain Soap? I forgot. I can look over here. Nope, where's Jaina? Captain Squiddy on Anduin, and Beaver Hunter on Leoric. That is Feigned Competence. And here we are in Towers of Doom. I kind of like, I don't know, I think the Murky is hilarious, especially with the Sylvanas. I don't know how their presence is going to be, though, but I kind of like sOaK every lane here. Looks like we see the standard 4-man bot for sOaK every lane. Murky going to double sOaK top and mid. Feigned Competence looking to engage mid, but all they see is an annoying little fish. They're like, I'm out of here. That dude scares me. They're coming down to the bot lane. They get about half the tower down. sOaK every lane does. Joanna getting caught. Iron Skin down and out. Hanzo picking up first blood against Joanna. Feigned Competence coming out strong. They said, you put us down early in that first game. We're here to do the same to you in the second game. We're going to take Towers of Doom. sOaK every lane going to do their best to make this just a two-game match. Again, I like the Bloodlust with the Sylvanas and the Raynor, even with the Murky, depending on how Murky builds. Right now, we're really interesting setup. So Murky's double soaking, and then the 4-man is double soaking, and Leoric staying top. So that's going to be an interesting set of rotations. That gives the 4-man for sOaK every lane more versatility in what they can do if the 4-man for Feigned Competence is rotating back and forth for sOaK. Hanzo picking up simple geometry, probably the only noteworthy talent here. Sylvanas with Might of the Banshee Queen to couple with that Bloodlust as well, so that'll be fun to see. It is Rhaegar, it is Bloodlust is the only real talent that Rhaegar has. That's not true, but if you're not taking Bloodlust, there's other healers to do what Rhaegar does. Sylvanas coming in on the Jaina. Chef Steve, what are you doing? You getting cooked, boy. He runs away instead. Here, if you've seen my other cast, oh, I can't get in on it, but here is the beautiful, beautiful little hut chapel thing that we've made note of on Towers of Doom before. Just remember, that is warm and cozy in this cold, dark map. We get a little 4-man engage. Hyperbole sliding in on Raynor. Raynor gonna go down to the Anduin of all people. Dude, I thought you were a priest. What the heck, man? Raynor going down. Hyperbole sliding in again, looking for a catch. A huge root onto Philip K. Philip K walking out. No Iron Skin, but Condemn goes out just in case to prevent any chasing. The first set of altars is coming up. We do have a 5v5 at level 5 v level 5. It's just 5s everywhere. First objective of the game. I expect to see Leoric and Murky trade here at the altars, and we should see just a huge melee here in the mid lane. And here comes the 4v3, 4v2. Iron Skin goes out early. Joanna having to leave Rhaegar down, farming in the mid lane. Jaina just going to take the altar, basically uncontested. And we do see the trade up in the top as expected. So that's, yeah, Feigned Competence definitely proven me wrong. I like both teams' drafts. I feel like sOaK Every Lane has the better draft for this map in particular, but Feigned Competence coming out to show me my Feigned Competence. It's always fun when the caster's wrong, but in this case, if the caster's wrong, we get a game 3, and those are even better. Both teams getting their sapper camps. Looks like they're, yeah, pretty standard. Both tanks anchoring for each other. No one really trying to go too far, but Hyperbole getting caught out by Philip K and Strokes. Condemn in. There's a slide out of ETC. Gonna get away. No kill for sOaK Every Lane there, and I swear they were smelling steak, but not gonna happen on that one. Sappers are fighting each other. Mercenary Queen on Sylvanas pumping up these sappers. Hyperbole looking a little low, getting some heals out though from Anduin and I guess it was Globes. He had a lot of hots on him. And there goes ETC. Raynor getting the side of beef. Sylvanas following up on Hanzo. And Anduin going to meet his brothers. He forgot to say the last rites over them, so he's following them on a quick trip to try to save their souls. That is a 3-for-0 exchange for sOaK Every Lane, and they get the bottom fort. That's huge. That's huge coming into this objective. This is a 5-point altar that's going to put them in the lead by 1, and now they're going to do whatever they can to hold bottom lane, because bottom lane is the key to this map, and they have level 10s. sOaK Every Lane in a huge position, a huge advantage rather, to hold this game. Level 10s, Blessed Shield, Wailing Arrow, Bloodlust, Rainer's Raiders, and March of the Murlocs. As sOaK Every Lane defending this bottom fort. March of the Murlocs does go out from the Murky, and then Murky bubble shielding away, or safety bubble, or whatever it's called, from Leoric. Engage onto ETC from the Wolf, hungry like the Rhaegar, but then the cow stampeding in. Bloodlust for a counter. There goes the Blessed Shield. That's a huge stun, followed up by the Wailing Arrow. There's the stuns going, and the silence is everywhere. Hanzo gets off a Q, but Raynor hits even harder. Hanzo gonna fall as well. ETC Hanzo go out. Lots of ultimates, every ultimate used for that fight, basically. I mean, Raynor's doesn't count, but still. Lots of skills used, 2 kills. That's still a big advantage for sOaK Every Lane. Level 10s now come for Feigned Competence. I was about to say, they need level 10, and they need to get some hard engage, which they have the capability for. The Dragon Arrow, the Mosh Pit, Elemental instead of Ring. Interesting. I like the Elemental. I think the Ring has very good combo potential, but when you have Light Bomb and Entomb, you just don't need the Ring, and the Elemental has lots of heavy damage, as well as the level 20 is huge on Jaina with the Elemental. So I think Jaina's gonna start coming out of the woodwork here with all of the setup coming from her team. The next set of altars is up. It is a double altar objective. sOaK every lane. Trying to get the Sapper camp right before the objective in enemy territory. Really ballsy move from them. It's they get poked out. ETC gonna try to get this altar while Hanzo's working on the camp instead of fighting. He lets it go finally. And Sylvanas capping that altar down below the bottom lane. Sorry, I did not see it happening at the time. Couldn't show you. There's the Bloodlust. Captain Squiddy gonna go down. Mosh Pit goes out, stopping everybody else, but Anduin falls to Sylvanas. ETC falls to Jimmy the Large Minion Rainer. Hanzo no health. Jaina no mana. And B-Med capping the thingy altar. 32-21 in favor of sOaK every lane. That's a commanding lead for sOaK every lane, and really showing why their draft is so strong here. They have the push, the containment from Joanna, the pressure from Sylvanas and Murky, and the damage from Sylvanas and Raynor stacked with the Bloodlust, and Rhaegar's just effectively a bruiser in what he brings to the team. Obviously, he's not trying to be up front as much, but he's got that really strong damage, the damage he brings through Bloodlust. There goes the Water Elemental. Ironstein comes out of Joanna, but she's going to be slowed back down. The Water Elemental falls. Hyperbole looking really low. ETC needs to go back to pasture. There he is. Slides back, mounts back up, and goes to a Health Fountain instead. He's just going down to the local watering hole. And, Anduin? Is that Anduin? Yeah, Anduin backing. No, Hanzo. I can't tell them apart anymore. Everybody in this game looks the same. Jaina trying to get some poke onto this bottom keep, and rightly so, because that's keeping them way out of this game. Again, 32-19. This next set of objectives is coming up here in the top. And Murky and Leoric probably just going to trade, because sOaK every lane does not want to leave this bottom lane right now. As I say that, they all mount up and leave the bottom lane and start rotating up for the objective. Feigned Competence really wants to make a play on the enemy altar. Murky going to start capping. It looks like Leoric. There's the Mosh Pit, so they're going to go ahead and give Murky the camp. And the altar, they're going to cap their own. A huge ult combo coming out from Feigned Competence. You saw the Light Bomb on top of the Mosh Pit with the Dragon Arrow following up. Entomb comes out later. They're just marching the Murlocs right now. They were able to get Rhaegar out of it, but sOaK every lane comes back with that huge talent advantage. 2 levels and a talent to go 4-for-1 on the fight. Raynor, again, cleaning up. Jimmy the Large Minion Raynor really looking for that promotion to catapult. Let's take a look at the damage. Hanzo really bringing the damage. Leading Raynor in damage at the moment, but the damage spread looking a lot better for sOaK every lane instead, but that's only part of the story. This bottom fort about to go down. Feigned Competence finally getting control of their bottom fort, wresting it from sOaK every lane. sOaK every lane going ahead and get the Sapper camp instead. They'll take that fort back fairly quickly between Sylvanas and the Sappers. And what I didn't realize, because I'm bad at this game, is that sOaK every lane took that middle fort as well. Feigned Competence getting it back. B-Med on the Murky really bringing that pressure. Almost has that top one. So this is going to be roughly a fair objective. Feigned Competence looking for that level 16 in about 20 seconds to have an even fight. But otherwise, we're looking at taking a fight down a tier. And level 16 talent tier, while delicious because talent tiers are the best tiers, level 16 is huge. It is where most power spikes are in the game. Altars are up. Leoric's going to get his uncontested. Murky going to get his uncontested. So we'll have a fight over this bottom one, it looks like. Leoric and Jaina not here. This is a 4v3 under 4 strokes. Just wrecking that altar. There goes Wipeout with the Wailing Arrow onto ETC and Anduin. They're both going to go down 25-10 on the tower, or on the Towers of Doom core count. There we go. Just a lot of fight happened there in just a short amount of time. But so we had a 4v3, 4v2, kind of in between, going into that altar here for Feigned Competence. Had the altar, or had the keep, and sOaK Every Lane was fighting into it, and then a lot of ults went out. Rhaegar took down the fort. This looks like this could be the end of the game here at the boss pit. Boss is looking really low. There goes Beaver Hunter going in hard, and in comes ETC. Mosh Pit. Jaina raining down damage on top. Hanzo putting out a lot of bursts. There goes the Mosh Pit, or the thing from the Whatchamadoozy from ETC. And that is the game for sOaK Every Lane. And that looks like a 2-0 sweep, which, all right. sOaK Every Lane taking game number 2. See if I can get out of this replay. I'm going to see if I can get probably Wipeout for an interview. After that, I don't know if he'll be able to. Oh, I see. I see. I got tricked. I got tricked by Smiley. Good one, Smiley. So you see here how it says Game 3? There's nothing in it. I thought maybe the games got put in the wrong order. But that... Ha 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 ha. That's funny. Alright, so I'm gonna see if I can get Wipeout for Interblarg. Looks like he's around.
After the fact?
Wipeout, you there?
I am.
Wipeout, hey! So a 2-0 sweep against Feigned Competence, and you guys were making me think it was a 3-game match. What's going on with that?
Should have been. I was aiming for another DPS game.
Well, it's always fun to play 3 games. That was rough. That was clever by you guys, though.
I don't know. I think game 1 we were going for the Cho'Gall and they took it. So
yeah,
we
wait,
banned all the counters.
Oh,
and then
y'all were going for Cho'Gall?
Maybe.
You said you were going for Cho'Gall?
Yeah. So we banned all the counters.
Who was going to play Cho'Gall?
That's for you to figure out later.
Oh,
we've already played it once, right?
All right.
We have played a Cho now.
Okay. Well,
We need to expand the pool.
so you got to play DPS. Normally
Sure.
your healing and strokes is the range damage, right?
Well, normally I'm healing or tanking or solo.
Okay. Or right. So B-Med is solo when he's there, and Philip is the tank when he's there. So you're just kind of you're the flex boy.
I'm up for hire for anything,
You're the SCL flex boy.
pretty much.
So how'd you like DPSing those games? It looks like you did pretty well with it.
I like it, but yeah, there's a reason I generally don't play DPS. I'm just I need to step up my aggro.
Well, I don't, or when you have someone like Sylvanas, she can get into some pretty tight situations, and she has the capability of getting out, but if you're too aggressive, then it's really easy to get punished for that, especially with the heavy CC that they
Yeah, like
brought.
in game 2, if Sylvanas ease into the mosh, is derp.
Yeah, that's done so. So, I mean, game 2 was pretty standard. You went bot lane, you took the bot fort and you kept it, and it's the nail in the coffin early on. Game 1 on Towers of Doom, not Towers of Doom, Tomb of the Spider Queen, that one. You guys kind of held true to your name. You're sOaK every lane, and y'all led an XP early on. Y'all had a 3-level lead at what, 13?
Yeah. It's one of those maps where it's interesting how you play it. And because we have played, especially last season, we used to play Cho. We found that Cho is a little bit slower initially to get off the ground, or he can be a little bit more aggressive. You definitely can't let Cho go on late, because then he's just a beast, and it's done. So we needed to get enough of an advantage to just snowball it.
All right. Well, it looks like y'all did. And then game 2, I know I said that I liked y'all's draft better, but I felt like I think Feigned Competence had a better team fight, and you just avoided it the whole time. So, and same thing for game 1. They had a really strong team fight, but you never team fought. So how was that intentional? Was it always we're gonna look for picks, and if there's not a pick, we're just backing off? What was going on with the thought process when encountering the enemy, especially at those neutral objectives?
Well, again, like Cho is really hard to just like run face into, so we look for the picks. And one of the things that this team is really good at is macro. So we try and focus on that and get our wins based on that.
Yeah, I
We're
definitely
overstepping and
I definitely think that's your strength is macro. I've seen a few of your matches, and it always looks like macro is where y'all do well, and if y'all kind of stray from that is where things start to turn south. So it looks like y'all
also
been
I
focusing
take
on that.
offense to the comp in game 2 being worse in team fights. Murky is a beast, so take that back.
That's a fair counter argument, but when you have Mosh under a light bomb with an entomb, and Dragon Arrow is just icing. Like so Jaina didn't need Ring of Frost, and so when at level 20 with the silence in the entomb and the winter mute, that if they get to level 20 and there's a 5v5, I feel like y'all are dead. Yes, Murky is strong, and maybe gets that pufferfish out in time to just wreak havoc in the middle of that cluster. But if ETC gets the jump, I think they win.
Yeah, no, 100%. They had a good comp. They just got unlucky in a few fights, and we were able to snowball it again. So
that's not to say
went...
your team fight is bad. I just thought theirs was better.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And y'all had a really strong macro team style. Now, again, when you have Bloodlust on Raynor and Sylvanas takes a percentage damage at level 1, I mean, that's a really strong fight presence too. Like it wasn't, or neither team drafted poorly. Both teams drafted well, and you guys played better, as evidenced by the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that you remember? I know the game was a decent chunk of time ago. Is there anything else you remember in particular that you thought was really noteworthy?
I mean, Murky played amazing, and it's actually fun being able to pick a Murky and still do well with it.
In competitive,
so,
yeah,
I think BMed called it right, because Leo has a hard time into Murky.
Yeah,
that map just allows for it. So
speaking of the Murky and Leo, I commented on it early. Murky was double soaking, and the 4-man for Feigned Competence was double soaking, and I think that's ultimately what let y'all take bottom lane so early and just hold that lead. Is that?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked. We communicate well. After initial struggles, I think BMed talks, we talk, and if he can't catch it, then we catch it, and it's just, nowadays you win the game by XP.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what y'all did. That's your strength, and we're seeing that show. I believe y'all. Does this match clinch playoffs for you? Do you remember? Or were y'all already clinched?
I don't think so. I think we already were in the playoffs, but you're always playing to win just because
course.
that's fun, right? Winning's fun.
Yeah, unless you want to do really weird things to the rest of the playoff standings, but that's less. It can be individually entertaining, but that's definitely not fun for everybody else. So, yeah, always play to win, even when you're down 99-1. Always play to win. So yeah, anything else about those couple of games?
No, I'm glad it turned out the way it did. We had fun. Yeah, well, yeah, we played fun comps. I got to play DPS all around.
There you go. So you're a jack of all trades or a Jimmy of all trades for Heroes of the Storm. So you play a lot of them, a lot of the different heroes, a lot of different roles. Which hero do you most closely identify with?
You're gonna be Cho? Wonder.
Did you say Cho?
I mean,
Are you a Siamese twin?
Cho'Gall. Let's go with Cho'Gall.
It was Cho'Gall. Yeah, I have to ask. Are you and Muffin Siamese twins?
Well, he's my sensei.
Oh, okay.
I have been learning.
But
I'm not even close.
But y'all aren't joined at
learning.
the shoulder or nothing?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm trying to think of something else fun. Oh, right, the superpower question. If you could have any superpower without using any loopholes, like the Infinite Wish loophole superpower to get more superpowers, what one superpower would you have?
Time travel.
Time travel. Well, good news for you, you already are time traveling at about 1 second per second. So but just continuously into the future. Okay, so with time travel, what would you want to do with it?
Go back and look at history.
To go back and look, ooh, a scholarly superpower. Not to do good or do evil things, not to go and
You don't
check out the
change.
future.
You don't change the past.
There's been too many movies about
Learn
it, right?
from it.
Right. So, interesting. Okay, so the last question, and to follow up with the superpower. If you were to cripple your superpower or make it less super, kind of give it a handicap, what would it be? For instance, the example I like to give is I can teleport, but I always end up 6 feet off the ground wherever I'm going, or I can travel at the speed of sound or light or whatever, but only at that speed, type of a thing.
Yes. I don't know. How do you cripple time without actually screwing yourself over? Thanks.
I don't know. That's up for you to answer. Maybe something to do with your aging or time, or you're limited to something. Like you can only go backwards and never go forwards, or something like that.
Yeah, see, all of that sucks, and I don't want it.
That's why it's a handicap to the power.
Okay, go back and age with it. Or I don't know, get younger with it. Sure. I don't know. I have no idea.
I feel like the easy one there is you can time travel, but only if you're going 88.8 miles per hour in a DeLorean. But that might be too easy. All right, well, that's enough of my ridiculousness. Thank you so much for hanging out, and congratulations on the sweep. Again, this has been sOaK Every Lane and Feigned Competence. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.
And there's a tranquility again from Alperi, keeping targets up as Ragnaros landing a 4-man Sulfurous Smash, Durance of Hate from Mephisto, and this combination executed perfectly at the end of the game.
From Alarak. Make it a quad kill set up by that easy.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line.
Nubarak, 4 at 50%. Both cores are just absolutely melting. Which one's going to go down first? I think this is going to be Respect the Gooses. Oh my goodness.
Ring. Oh my goodness, the ring. Jaina just pulling up everybody here. That's a 4 make it 5
And it
to
does
nothing.
knock them all up. What a play! Oh my God! Somebody please clip that.